Coming up on BOI Weekly, we turn our spotlight to BOI's Sustainable Financing Framework with a focus on the bank's climate and renewable energy finance and advisory services. Also, beneficiaries of BOI sustainability funds share the positive impact these financial interventions have on their enterprises and job creation. Plus, it's a double win for BOI as the bank bags sustainability and social impact leadership honors at the EMEA Project Finance Awards. Good to have you join us again on BOI Weekly, a program that showcases how the Bank of Industry is powering Nigeria's industrial development. I am Aramide Folorunsho. The Bank of Industry integrates environmental, social, and governance standards across its core thematic areas, financing Nigeria's future and inclusive growth. Let's explore BOI's sustainability strategy and the bank's commitment to driving economic impact by leveraging sustainable finance to alleviate poverty, reduce inequalities, and drive industry, innovation, and infrastructure development.
Hello, my name is Eniola Akinshete, Chief Sustainability Officer of the Bank of Industry. BOI has always been very focused on ensuring that our projects are environmentally responsible and socially inclusive. And so from as far back as 2020, we had developed an ESG policy to govern our lending activities. In addition, we had also started to categorize our projects from an ESG standpoint, basically running due diligence activities on our projects from an ESG standpoint to ensure that those projects are also contributing to climate resilience in the Nigerian economy. Now, building on all of those activities, the bank now took a conscious decision to expand beyond just due diligence for projects from an ESG standpoint, but to now include activities that the bank itself carries out to ensure that we continue to drive that agenda of a climate resilient Nigeria. Basically, sustainability, as we know what it is really focused on ensuring that there's a future for the next generation. And so, taking the decision of setting up a sustainability division was really on ensuring that whatever it is that we do, not just from a lending standpoint, but even from our internal activities, have the ethos of ensuring that there's a future that guarantees environmental resilience and social inclusion in all the activities of the bank. And so setting this up now helped us to broaden our activities, not just for developing our staff internally in terms of the knowledge around due diligence from an ESG standpoint, but also now looking at how our day-to-day activities as staff of the bank contribute to this climate resilient economy. In addition, looking at how our ecosystem of partners are also supporting that journey for our customers in driving environmental responsibility and social inclusiveness. One of the biggest things that we did when we were developing our 2025 to 2027 strategy was to ensure that there was some active focus on climate and sustainability activities as implemented by the bank. And so one of the things that we did was to ensure that on a year-on-year basis, we set a target for ourselves to ensure that at least 10% of the bank's disbursements actually go into climate and sustainability related projects. So this focus has now helped us to now start to think around meeting that target even as we continue to support development impact activities. One of the other things that we did to even help us to achieve this target that we had defined in our strategy was to now come up with a sustainable financing framework. Basically what that SFF does, which by the way is already validated by second party opinion by Standard & Poor's and is also aligned with international guidelines. What it does for us is really to say, how do we as a bank deepen our sustainable finance activities? How do we marry the appropriate funding to the projects that are ESG compliant as defined by international guidelines to help to grow climate financing in Nigeria and more importantly, to support ESG adoption amongst our customers. So the implementation of that SFF now has helped us define a wider category of asset lending categories for us on the green finance standpoint and also on the social segment. And from that way, we're able to continue to develop or deepen impact in priority sectors, but focusing mainly on growing projects that are green and are also social inclined. We are really excited to be Nigeria's first national implementing entity for the Adaptation Fund by UNFCCC. It was a long time coming. It was a journey. It was an interesting and exciting journey, and we are really grateful for the support that we received from various partners, both local and international, in helping us to shape our operations and activities in that direction. Now, what exactly does this mean for BOI and even for Nigeria as a whole? I think I'll start from the Nigerian context. So typically today we have climate mitigation and climate adaptation projects. And these adaptation projects are really projects that you execute to address or to alleviate the effects of climate risk or climate change on the environment. That's really what adaptation projects are. And so today you find flooding in various parts of Nigeria, you find drought in various parts of Nigeria, you find erosion as well. And these are challenges that actually halt the economic prosperity or the economic livelihoods of the citizens in those areas, and even the regions, and in terms of economic growth as well. And so what we set out to do as a bank when we decided to start the accreditation process for Adaptation Fund was to help to crowd in more funds that understands the nuances of running climate adaptation projects. Climate adaptation projects usually are very public-oriented in the sense that they address a public good. As national implementing entities now, we're able to apply for projects and receive funding for up to $10 million for a single fund and up to $25 million for the country nationwide. What does this mean for Nigeria? It means that all of these flooding issues that we have, the drought issues that we have, we're able to work with the state governments and other stakeholders to actually come up with projects that we can present for funding for this activity. More importantly, we're able to now have some form of safety net or carve out some intervention for the citizens that are impacted by this situation, just so that they can also improve their economic livelihood. The agenda is still driven largely by our 2025 to 2027 strategy. This is the second year, and so we're still very big on climate finance and climate and sustainability as a thematic area for our operations. We continue to look at giving at least 10% of our disbursements into those type of projects. But even beyond that, I think there's a very conscious effort now to scale up our green financing activities in the bank. There is also, which is really around us now getting to operationalize our sustainable financing framework. We're also very particular about capacity building for our customers to ensure, again, drive up those numbers that we saw in the ESG assessment adoption report that we published last year. Drive up adoption figures for our customers in terms of ESG practices and taking them into play, and then more around developing the technical competencies of ESG projects. I think what's very critical to us is that, because we continue to do sustainable financing, we want to deepen our efforts in the climate space. So now going even beyond just what we do today, which are the solar projects, or but to now expand into pollution control, waste management, and looking at even circular economy from a mitigation standpoint, or even adaptation, where we are now working to ensure that our off-takers or our customers who off-take agricultural produce, are also supporting that segment of the economy with climate-smart agricultural practices and what have you. We're excited. It's the year where we operationalize our SFF, and the great times ahead.
Now let's share the stories of two BOI loan beneficiaries. who are driving meaningful environmental impact through their enterprises. Just Right Limited and PoliticsSmart Group.
Since its establishment in 2013, PoliticsSmart Group has been addressing the plastic waste challenge in its own unique way. By transforming recyclable materials into food-grade and non-food-grade raw materials, PoliticsSmart Group is not only creating economic opportunities but also mitigating environmental pollution.
We do the full operation. We collect the bottle from the street, and I'll explain how. That bottle is then brought to our plant. It is run through our washing system. It is first crushed, washed, and then it goes through a technology process and becomes a pellet, which becomes a raw material that today can be used as a replacement for virgin material. So what we're saying basically is that you can use this recycled material instead of importing your virgin material. So what have you achieved with this? You would have taken the bottle off the street, reused it again, and turned it into another bottle. How it works for us as a circular economy company is we have our collection stations. Right now we have them in 39 local governments across Nigeria, but hopefully in 3 years we will be across the 370 local governments as well. Basically what we're doing, we're collecting, and now we have a value for the bottles. So basically we do the whole process from collecting to processing to delivering as a raw material, and that covers both PET bottles, which are food grade. We also do non-food grade. It encompasses also the pure water bottles that today you have seen reduced a lot on the streets as well. I'll explain sustainability in motion. So it's not just a cliche, it's not just a word you say. We practice it because when you collect these kinds of plastics, it means not only have you saved the environment somewhere, but this is a replacement for what you would have produced through biogases. To produce virgin material that replaces it. One, that reduces importation into the country. Two, it makes Nigeria cleaner. Three, it creates lots of jobs, and it doesn't just cut across the sector of our jobs, but it's lots of jobs of transporting the stuff back here, transporting it out, making raw materials available locally, cutting emissions, fossil fuels, and what I discussed about the carbon emissions. I mean, if you're saving 200,000 tons of carbon emissions in Nigeria, that alone is an achievement. So sustainability cuts across several sectors, and not just the environmental aspect of things. It also has to do with the economy. It also has to do with the livelihood of people. We currently employ close to 800 staffs at this stage. With the expansion, it's probably going to be over 1,500, and that would be in the existing plants that we have. If we start calculating the collection points that we intend to do, probably going to be a 3,000 staffed institution.
Throughout its journey towards becoming a powerhouse in the recycling market, PoliticsSmart Group has overcome various hurdles, most notably financing. With support from Nigeria's foremost development finance institution, the Bank of Industry, the company has successfully scaled its operations, which are now backed by world-class certifications.
When PoliticsSmart started back then, in the early 2000s, at that point, this is where our group managing director, Mr. Wasiu Balogun, saw an opportunity to go into recycling, he faced lots of challenges. And basically, the challenges were access to capital. Access to capital was very difficult. That's when we approached BOI, and BOI helped us a lot and was able to extend the financing. And without BOI, I must say we could not have done this project because, as I said, recycling needs patient capital, it needs long-term financing, it needs low interest rates, and it needs somebody who can read the future and understands the metrics of sustainability, circular economy, and ESG matrices as well. And that is something that we thank BOI for having the understanding and the ear to listen to us and believe in us. The machinery that was purchased, and that was a key factor for BOI as well, was the fact that the machinery is energy efficient. And that's why I said we went European and we went to the best of the best. And this machinery is only produced by 2 players worldwide and in one country only. So we were very specific of what type of machinery we needed. It is very energy efficient, so it saves us on power cost. But alternatively, we didn't just stop there. Today, our plants are powered by gas, and not diesel. We also have solar. During the day, we work on full solar, and we will be working on full solar during the day. During the night, we'll be on gas. So it's efficiency in machinery, and it's also an ecosystem we built around our power facilities, whereby it's also environmentally friendly.
From waste collection to advanced recycling, the management of PoliticsSmart Group states that the company's mission remains the fostering of a circular economy that protects the planet, supports sustainable industries, and inspires eco-friendly living. Welcome to Just Right Superstore, one of Nigeria's fastest growing neighborhood supermarket chains. Operating across Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, and Osun states, Just Right serves approximately 1.5 million customers each month.
We started as an experiment. It was a small store, a small mom and pop store in Ota. About, I would say, maximum about 200 square meters of shop floor. And for 6 long years, we did that. We were able to confirm the demand before we now moved to our first purpose-built store in 2006. So the gap that we saw is the fact that the low to medium income neighborhoods outside of the major cities were ignored. All the supermarkets you will get in Nigeria then, at least in the Lagos environment, you find them in Ikoyi, Ikeja, Victoria Island, Lekki. So that was one gap we saw too. And as we went into the business, we also understood that these fellows in these low to medium income neighborhoods want the same thing that the people in Ikoyi want, but they want them at affordable price. So for us, the mantra became availability, affordability. To make it available, to make it affordable. That's the kind of response that we've been. And like you said, over the years, what has changed? Nothing has changed. We have kept faith with that. And as we evolve, as we grew, it's our guiding, it's casting stone. Those are fundamentals that define who we are and what we are. Of course, what has happened is that our success story has inspired so many others who have more or less followed the trend, copied the approach, and also sought to operate within the same kind of space that we're operating.
To further improve customer experience in a serene atmosphere, the management of Just Right Limited has transitioned to renewable energy. This forward-looking strategy, powered by the Bank of Industry's climate finance support, aligns Just Right's commercial excellence with national renewable energy and energy efficiency policies.
There was 1 year, our total outlay on diesel was 250 million naira. And I think the following year, our total outlay went in excess of 800 million naira. So it became obvious to us that our survival and our future lied in changing our source of energy. And the best and most efficient thing to do was to look into the area of sustainable energy. And that's how we went for solar. And that has enabled us to really manage our energy costs up to today. If you're going to invest in solar, the cost of solar is enormous. It's such that it makes it almost prohibitive. So if you do not have a pocket-friendly interest rate and a long-term finance, you will not be able to cope. And that's how BOI has been a savior, so to speak. Now, with the introduction of solar to those branches, you find that your HVAC system will now lasting a lot longer. Cooling has improved tremendously. Cost of energy has dropped significantly. And so it's a slightly more profitable operation than what we were doing before. We generate a lot of waste because all those goods come in cartons and different kinds of packages. What Just Right does is to pull all those cartons together and we take it to a recycling plant where it is now recycled into all manners of very usable cartons again or whatever that they're used for. We remain environmentally conscious, and that's why we have the ESG present there. We make sure that waste are managed in an environmentally friendly manner.
As a result of this successful partnership, the chairman of Just Right Limited encourages other entrepreneurs to leverage the financial and advisory opportunities available at the Bank of Industry.
I can tell you from my own experience that I've had a fantastic and wonderful engagement and very beneficial relationship with BOI. I don't know, I never met any of them before. I don't know, nobody gave me introduction to anybody. Simply walked in and we got the job done. And the other thing is, when they give you a list of their requirements, you must meet those requirements. Those requirements, what entrepreneurs need to understand. Don't see everything as an obstacle. It is not an obstacle meant to drive you away. They are fundamentals that you must do. If you don't have an audited account, on what basis will the bank give you facility? If they ask you to show corporate governance, they ask you to show this, they ask you to prepare a viable business plan, to all the basic things, show your tax returns. Those are not obstacles devised to turn you away. Those are basic conditions you must fulfill. Rather than see them as an obstacle and then you turn away, you will ask yourself, how do I meet this requirement?
The consistent efforts put in by the Bank of Industry in driving meaningful development across Nigeria have not gone unnoticed. This time, BOI gets dual recognition on the global stage.
It's double honor for the Bank of Industry at the recently concluded EMEA Finance Awards, where BOI bagged 2 prestigious awards. The bank received the Best Sustainability Deal in Africa award for its financing intervention under the Nigeria Distributed Access through Renewable Energy Scale-Up project, and the Best Social Development Deal in Africa award for its flagship Guaranteed Loans for Women program. The award-winning Distributed Access through Renewable Energy Scale-Up initiative is being implemented by BOI in collaboration with the Rural Electrification Agency REA and supported by the World Bank through a $750 million International Development Association credit facility. Similarly, the Guaranteed Loans for Women program were recognized for advancing financial inclusion and economic empowerment for women-owned and women-led businesses across Africa. The dual recognition further underscores BOI's growing reputation of a catalyst for sustainable development and inclusive industrialization, leveraging innovative financing solutions to address critical development challenges while unlocking opportunities for businesses and communities across Nigeria.
As we wind down on this edition of BOI Weekly, remember, BOI is ready to attend to your business finance and advisory needs. For more information on the bank's products and services, please scan the QR code on your screen. That's it on BOI Weekly. Thank you for watching. I am Aramide for Lauren Shaw.